You think that?
No, Charlie says,
Oh, you know why?
no, Charlie Bell says Hanukkah lasts until the end of the day.
Well, so it's a short because we're learning it now. We're into it. We're learning the Gemara. So if we do it, it'll be it'll be really good.
If we could
Yeah, you want parrots?
after this year, we could see more HaRambam today.
Oh yeah, right. We're finishing the Hilchos Tahara and the mikvahs. Oh,
When we start about the comments. So you learn basically the Avakam.
yeah.
The HaRambam from today is that for you.
Welcome to Zikr is Avakam.
Yeah.
In Kenyan is basically Rabban Thial, says give or take.
Yeah.
We did already.
We did a chelik of the simon.
Right.
We did a chelik. We did a chelik, and I want to go back. Quickly and go to where we're holding. And Bez Hashem Yisbor discuss on a kuda that I think is a very choshen and a kuda has to do with Hilchos Shabbos. Could you give me one of these books, Take? Yeah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'achol v'gedorim. If you remember, last time we spoke about the Mishnah Brura. I'm still flabbergasted. Hastira Mamash Mishnah Brura between one sim and the other sim. I remember once in Yeshiva University, so I had a kasha Mishnah Brura, and so someone told me the Amol Given from the Rosh Yeshiva said of Zaks, who was a son-in-law by the Chofetz Chaim. And they asked him once Hastira, one place and the other place in the Mishnah Brura. So he started laughing. He said, "That simon my father-in-law wrote, and this simon I wrote." I don't know if it's true or not. It's somewhat troubling. The person that told me the story was a reliable person, but I mean, funny. But definitely, I mean, the state over here in the Mishnah Brura. Again, we'll get to it in a second. You know what? Before we get the kashis, let's learn a little bit Innovenik, Oisis Machimus, and then we'll look at a big piece of Mishnah Brura, the Bir Halacha, which we didn't get a chance to do last time, and we'll finish off the simon, whatever. Okay, and hopefully we'll do maybe next simon, and if not, we'll finish it next week. Okay. Kol Hashmanim v'Apsilos Kshedim l'nei Chanukah. When it comes to Chanukah, I don't care. Shabbos, we said there has to be certain Shmanim and Psilus, because if they're not Mshachim Yafa Acha Psilu, we're scared to Gzeri Shemayata. But when it comes to Chanukah, we're not scared. It's fine. It's fine because Manavshach. If you're talking about Choil, Hof Sein Zakik, what do you care that it's not going to burn well? And if you're worried about Shabbos, but Osel Ishtamish Loid, so because Osel Ishtamish Loid, you're not going to be Mata. So therefore, you can use all kinds of Shmanim Psilos. The beautiful words in the Tzemach Tzedek. Tzemach Tzedek says, "Tzat the Kedusha of Chanukah that they could even Shmanim Psilos that Shabbos you can't use it." But when it comes to Kedusha of Chanukah is so powerful. That's Tzemach Tzedek. Okay. Miu Shemen Zayis Mitzvah Min Amuf. We spoke about in the Tosfos yesterday. Remember? Shemen Zayis Mitzvah Min Amuf. You can't find Shemazais, any other shaman that's a good candle. We use Neishel Shai because it has Oid and Sol. We spoke about it last week. In Eastern Europe, it was very hard to get olive oil. You get chive, you need to have bees in business. So bees are in business everywhere, as long as you know how to run beehives. If you're not going to plunder them. Right? In Kfar Chabad, you have plenty of bees and honey.
There's actually a guy in Chabad. He had a factory.
I love it. Whenever I take the kids out of Israel, I take them to Schneeson's. First of all, I buy right away a lot of honey. It's very good.
I bring it to the United States.
Bring it in a suitcase. Once I was a chochem and I brought also the with the shaiva. And it spilled all over all the clothing in the suitcase. Don't ask. But otherwise, if you just buy the honey jars,
My brother came from California to New York to Schwieger for Pesach. So he asked from California to buy Shem and Zayit for Pesach. He bought a case. When he come to the airport, they see on these things, the box broke, and all the suitcases. Everybody cursing. Everybody. Imagine the whole black things. Olive oil. Everybody picked up his suitcase.
he probably walked away. I don't know whose suitcase that is.
Exactly.
I don't know whose oil that is. It's not me. Okay. The main Shem and Zayis. Oh, okay. Weiter. Viele Balal Shabbos, Shabbat Chanukah.
You're allowed to. You're allowed to. Even Shabbat and Hanukkah, you're allowed to.
Yeah. Viele Balal Shabbos, Shabbat Chanukah, also allowed to. Right, exactly. Mutter allowed to Chanukah, Shmona V'Sel, also allowed to Shabbos. Why? Because anyway, he's not going to be mata because he can't use it anyway. And we pass the Rama Paskins that way. But if you're putting 8 hours of oil, so after the Zman, that oil is already Yeshlon Rushos Lishtamish Bahem. So we're scared Shemayata. So when do we say Balel Shabbos Mutal Hadlik Shmonim Mupsilis Shasur? If you only put a half hour of oil, 50 minutes of oil.
Exactly.
If you're putting 10 hours of oil, yeah. Now, remember, one of the things that's in the beginning of the sugya, the Bach holds that if you makza the oil for 10 hours, the whole 10 hours is mitzvah. So Taka, the Bach disagrees with this Ramah, but the Ramah Lepel Paskins no. The Ramah Maskin.
Also the
We said the Shamish got to be long. You know, this year I mentioned this. There were two types you can buy for $1.50 or $2.50. For $1 in bingos, not unbelievable. It's pretty cheap. For $2.50, you buy a shamash, 12 hours.
Whoa, wow.
12-hour shamash. Huh?
It's not very unique.
It's very nice. It's very nice.
Why?
And no, they had these nice.
They made it specially
for their customers.
Like Rebbe.
You can't buy it like Rebbe, exactly. In the regular store, you can't buy it. You buy those shamashim.
They didn't want it, so they did it.
Yeah. And they have their mission, like the Streimels for $500, the sukkah for $250.
They do it on purpose.
They do it, but it's not giving a shame. Because I have these big cups, and by me it could easily last 12 hours. 12. Well, I'm not. I make up in the morning, and the menorah is still burning.
What is that? Big up like this?
It's like a round. I don't know. It's okay. I can't buy it even now in the stores. They don't buy such big ones.
But you fill
I fill it up oil to the top. Sure.
Wow.
I fill it up oil to the top, and
it stays till Shabbos morning.
It stays till the morning. Yep.
And
I get up.
Is still on. Wow.
I get 12-hour shamash.
Wow.
12-hour shamash. Shkeferlich. Olive oil they had it this year. I think it was $5.99. Not the palm oil,
for the whole.
No, I needed 3 for the whole Chanukah. It was $15, and shamoshim is $1.50. Oh, and the bigger ones were $2.50.
Right. It's not something.
We looked yesterday in Gemara Nebuchadnezzar that can't afford their Chanukah and their Shabbos. We're talking about. We'll look together. It's mamish. It's a joke. It's such a joke. What goes on? We have to thank the Eibishter, like what we had. Like we can go into a Yiddish store, or you can go into a Goyish store, you can go to Costco for it.
Shem Zayis you could buy all over.
You can buy Shem Zayis, you could buy, and with the Hechsha too. With the Hechsha, with the OU, Machaya.
No, for what is it called? For Chanukah, you take the Hechsha. Kol Hashmanim Shechi.
Kol Hashmanim, you say maybe the factory used Chazah. I'm saying they all have OU. Even if you're looking without OU, you can't find it. All the oils in Costco, the olive oil, has OU anyway. I'm saying it's a machaya.
But you need oil for virgin oil?
I don't think. He's right. You don't need maybe. But I'm saying it has OU. It's there. It's there. It's unbelievable what we have. You can anyway, right.
No, when the Shmonot was reading, there was no, like you said, there was no olive oil in Europe.
Right. So they used shayva. They used shayva.
No other source.
Weiter. Also, the Shtamish b'ner Chanukah men b'Shabbos b'Mechol. You're not allowed to use the light of a ner Chanukah. Side Shabbos Seichel. Eino Shus l'Shtamish b'ner l'Rosim b'Lavad. I feel live the Kmos nice Leuten also. Everything is also. Feel the Tavish no Kedush Lilma D'Oira also. Everything is also. However, yesh mishamata betash mishel kedusha. They say it's tash kedusha is mutter. Negam lahadlik ner noisef. The minig is to have an extra candle. Shim mishtamish loid, if you're going to use the light, il loid hanoisef shu oisa shuhud lakacha. That the extra candle is there. That if you're going to use the light, you're using it for that.
Shamash?
That's what we call the shamash. Yeah.
Oh.
And I kind of meroch tzas mishor neinis. Now, when didn't say lo ein noegim lohoisif, rak maniach etzlan hashamash by madlikan neidim. Lord of tvei. The original custom was they had like this. They had a menorah, and they had eight glass or whatever, 8 things to hold the oil, and they had a ninth one, an extra inch moved away, so you could see it's different. And they would take a match and light it, and light also that one. So the Ramos is b'medinas elu, which today everyone does it this way. We use a thing called the shanish, which lights all the candles, and then we use it also as the ner noise, a little different than the original meaning. Okay, that's what we use. That's what we always do. I mean, that's what we do. God of Tvei. Yesh latzes yoysa orachem sharnei should make it.
Done for the shluchim to be able to tell the goy, the mayor, to
Yeah.
light the shams.
The Eibishon's geholfen with this machaya. The minig of the shamish made it initial given bezyonis. What do you do? Machaya. You give him, and every shliach says the shamish is the most important one because he's the shamish.
He's the tallest one too. Look at this.
Yeah. And he has the honor to light all the candles, and we're giving it to the mayor that he is lighting the shamish.
Because the shamish is a public servant.
Right. You sound like a shliach already.
No, I'm just saying.
Venture, you're good. You read it in the handbook.
You're hired.
Public servant. Yeah, you got it. I remember reading about it. There was a handbook. I read it 25 years ago. And you're good. Yesh la soisa yoisa arach masharnesh. Im bolu shamish ishtamish loisa ne. In the sort of Ner Chanukah. I'm sorry we're going back. We learned this last week, but in the sort of Ner Chanukah also. What happens if a candle of Hanukkah get mixed in with other candles? As explained last week, it has to be, we're talking about that the candles lit for 15 minutes and then a wind came and blew them out. Now, accidentally put in the box with many other candles. You can't tell the difference. I feel because we're counting the Hanukkah candles. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a Dava Shabbat Elo yadlik min ataroivis. Kol kach shebavade ner shel heter doiluk im ner shel isu. V'oz muter lishtamish etzlon, then you're allowed to. So if he knows, he put into the box 2 candles of Hanukkah. So now he should take out of the box 3 candles. And now for sure one of the 3 candles is a kosher candle, not a muktzah candle. It's not huktzah l'mitzvah. Now he's allowed to use it.
It's a suffix.
It's a suffix. So the emphasis is a big machloikis here, which I glossed over it last week, between the Bach and the Ramah. The Ramah says, this chidush is the Ramah. The Bach says, no, haki says shading. If you have, when you Lapoil, you're using also.
You're using something from a mitzvah.
You're also using one from the mitzvah. You're also using one from the mitzvah. So the Magen Avraham says, from Hilchos Shabbos, that the Ramah is right. The din is that if a goy lights a candle for me, I'm not allowed to use it. I'm not allowed to use it. I have to walk out of the room or whatever. I'm not allowed to use people don't realize how strong it is. Yeah. What happens if I light a candle? And now the goy comes and brings another candle into the room. So I don't have to walk out of the room. Because I already have a candle here. You bring another time. Even if he brings another 3 candles, doesn't matter. I have my candle here.
You have the shamash that you can use.
No. Regular Shabbat. Shabbat, little Shabbat. I'm in a hotel or whatever. And I have on the table, I have a candle. And now the guy brought in another candle, 2 candles. I don't have to walk out. I already have my candle here. So the Magen Avraham says, you see over here, as long as you have 1 candle, the other candles don't count. That's a shit of the Ramah. Therefore, the Ramah says that the Ramah holds you're not supposed to use the light of the shamash. It's only just accidentally you used it. But once you already blew out the candle, or accidentally a wind came, and now it's a shaila because the candles are muktzah, As long as one of the three or one of the four or one of the five candles is a candle shel heter, you're allowed to use that light. Okay.
Here's a tiny story Rabbi Levin told me. So at Hanukkah, he had a big public display
Louder.
in Kiev.
Yeah.
Or anyway, so they had the mayor or the assistant mayor light the shamas. And then he asked for the shamas back so that he or whatever, somebody else can light the candles. And the shamas takes him aside and says, I hate to tell you, but I'm Jewish. Just don't tell anybody.
Okay, you see?
What's wrong?
No, they
You
want
got
to
a
light.
little
Okay.
story there.
Light it. Let's do now the Mishnah Berurah. The Mishnah Berurah. But we already did a lot of the actual Mishnah Berurah. So I want to do just the Biur Halacha. Because we did not do the Biur Halacha, and I want to do the Biur Halacha. Why do I want to do the Biur Halacha? Because I want to argue with the Biur Halacha. Okay. Biur Halacha, Tzim Tov Reish Ayin Gimel. The Yesh Mishmate Betash Mishal Kedusha. It's on page Kuf Mem Beis. Yeah, Ein Betaz. You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Ein Betaz, Sherich Le'ela, Afla De'ezu, second opinion, Hainu Derech Are Dafke. And before we go in there, he wants the
Kedusha. When I use the light to learn something, the light is Kedusha, and I'm learning Kedusha. So the Kedusha actually mixing.
he wants to be makel.
Right.
But the Rebbe says, the Alter Rebbe says in Hilchos Shabbos, he midlik bedvorim asurim, also lishtamish loidim shum tashmish boilim, afilu tashmish ein tzorechim klal. Shein tzorech l'skare veitzel aner b'shvila. Kivin sheinem irim yofa, choyshishim shema yata aner, afal pishim ishtamish merochik. As I mentioned, this is, I keep on going back to this, because this nakuda I used as in the Shabbos Chanukah, we spoke about this. But so the Korban Nasanel asks in the Alter Rebbe, the Alter Rebbe takes the Magen Avraham, he asks in the Magen Avraham. He asks in the Magen Avraham, ich verstehe nicht. We're learning here in the Siman Tov Reish Ayin Gimel that you're not allowed to use Ein Rosh L'shtamish v'Malarosim Balavat. But the Rosh says that when Ein Rosh L'shtamish Alarosim, if you're counting the money right next to the Ner Chanukah, it's Ner Sabizoin. But if you're the other end of the room, it'll be mutter. So frek the Korban Nasan, hey, wait a minute. If it's mutter to count the money in the other end of the world, but maybe Shema Yata, why is Shabbos and Chanukah? Yeah, Shema Yata. If you're in the other end of the room, we're not chosh. By the time he's going to walk from here all the way there, so remember it's Shabbos. So therefore, the din of the Magen Avraham is wrong.
So you're allowed to.
So he says, yeah, you're allowed to the other end of the room. Nish vidal tereva paskin. Okay. The problem with the Mishnah Berurah is that in Hilchos Shabbos he passes like the Magen Avraham, like the Alter Rebbe. Here, in the minute, you're going to see he brings the Rosh. Now, the Alter Rebbe has no problem with the Rosh, because the Alter Rebbe is going to tell you, I don't pass like the Rosh. Because if you read in the Pnim, in the Shulchan Aruch, it says, L'fisha os l'shtamish b'nei Chanukah, ben b'Shabbos, ben b'chol, afidu liv the k'mosa, lim nisnar osur, v'afilu tashmish b'dusha, kadon lim aloyra osur. It's mashma that it's totally osur, and that you can't do it in the other end of the room. From the simple words in the Shulchan Aruch, osur, yesh mishamatir, okay, we don't pass in that way. But the opinion says osur is osur. Finished. Osur is osur. So for some reason, the Mishnah Berurah learns no, that over here when it says osur, it's osur. But if you're at the other end of the room, you're allowed to. Doesn't sound that way in Shulchan Aruch. Okay. Doesn't say it that way. Now you're making a stira between Hilchos Shabbos and Hilchos Chanukah. In Hilchos Shabbos, you told me
Even if it's rochik.
even it's a rochik, and here you're telling me
If it's rochik, mutter.
if the rochik is mutter. No, forget it. Doesn't say forget. The takat sounds like it's also. The Rosh said it's mutter, but the Shulchan Aruch doesn't pass like the Rosh. There's many other Rishonim that's mashma there. It's also. So that's my shaila. Now let's read inside the Biur Halacha. I'm betaz sheherich v'hela davla dezu hana derech arei davke. But if you want to learn derech keva, kul alma also. According to the second opinion, of derech keva muter, that you're allowed to learn next to the minority even b'derech keva. B'shoyis of tirtzu achrin, ma'am b'yad afram, b'mayim amortcha, v'ayt b'chemed Moshe. Im ken efshar loimed al der, yishayna yiseres udavkim alim b'dhoi b'derech keva, avaloi b'derech arei.
Maybe
So
always if you don't have a
it's
car.
available of a funny logic. Sometimes we use this like a steps to. Second opinion that says it's mutter to learn is mutter even b'derech keva. It's the first one that says it's also means it's also b'derech keva, b'derech arai would be mutter. From the Shulchan Aruch it's mashma, it's also. Nothing is mutter. It's the Heipstam Drei Nakop. It's not a stepping stool here that to say based on the second opinion will be the first, like a brachas. That's a eitz and adama. They go up or they go down. If they go down, so this one's going the eitz becomes adama, the adama becomes shak.
Either is multiple also.
It says also. It says also livne it's a moetz or limnes loiden afilo tashma shekdusha kon lilmad also. It didn't say lilmad b'derech arei keva. Also is also bein arei bein keva gendik.
When the two things that is being Mos and Lun.
And he says learning.
Both of these things is you do it very close to the life.
And he's not mechalak. It's mashma that say if it's arei, say if it's keva, say if it's close. But it says also. Shulchan is not mechalak. So, like, it's funny. Mishnah Berurah hit question over here. Then he says, "Mashe hevi morgen Avram sif cotton beis. That I must cause a place in the field lachlan that's an asur. Kakos of Achem and Moshe and is an ayos a mochachas or lachem's keva amru. Mash kos of oid v'chem mochel some tafresh em hosmei ride achil Shabbos v'ad keva v'layare." Again, it's like a little bit of a funny ride. He's saying like this. The Morgan Avram says, I must be absolutely. Is absolute. What's that ayah? I learned yesterday in the Gemara, it's a kishmak ayah, that if a person has a conflict, near Shabbos and Chanukah, what should you do? Near Chanukah is Shabbos is because Shalom Bay say Adam. There's a Moedik Sicha Blina the next week when we learn the Gemara, we'll review that Sicha. Moedik Epis Sicha about this. So Shalom Bay say Adam. So the Magen Avraham said, "Hey, why can't I stop short? You can do both. Light the Chanukah candle and eat the meal next to the Chanukah candle. You have a big conflict."
Also, he's so
he's a raya. When we say also means mamish, also. There's nothing you can do. You can't even eat a donut next to it. And even in the other end of the room. If it would be mutter to eat a donut in the other end of the room, lo'idon, so make kiddush and eat a donut in the other end of the room. So it's not alamaylis and they're Chanukah and they're Shabbos. So the Mishnah Berurah says no, because Achilles Shabbos is Achilles Keva.
And what?
So what? Because halachically, eating a donut is called Keva. But we see that's what the Magen says. Yeah, but Ferish Gemara. If it would be mutter to eat a kabetz in the other end of the room, the Gemara would say, if it's Shabbos and Chanukah, there's no problem. Do a Chanukah candle and eat a donut in the other end of the room. And say Yotzig and Shabbos and Chanukah and Shalom Al Yisrael.
But today we have light.
Yeah, today this whole thing is nothing.
Nothing.
It's nothing. All the things nothing. We're just trying to understand the.
Das Yachid here?
Huh?
Is the time Das Yachid here?
Yeah, it's his chiddush. I'm trying to slow up his chiddush. V'nei be'emes, halo you do a das Rosh, the tash mish'arei shori. The Rosh holds that any tash mish'arei is muter. Rag v'nei atzos mosh k'shemekar of yodas eitzel nechan calls also mishum gnai. Ava ba'al mishori. V'rashal posa gam ken hochi. Again, what are you bringing me this Rosh? Obviously, our Shulchan Aruch did not pass like this Rosh, because our Shulchan Aruch said, "Oh, afilu livdik mos osur, afilu tashma shel kedusha kegon limud osur," and the Shulchan Aruch said it without qualifying arai or keva and close or far. It's mashma. It's always osur. Why are you bringing me this Rosh? Okay, weiter. Ken lanius daiti ben yoneinu the misapkinon. Linyan limud derech arei ein lo b'raya lahach mashev the Magen Avraham. And pas rashal dalei rashal kosa behedya the dafka tzos moz is ma'ach shemakor v'yodav laneir avashot tashmish arei shori. Aken la nius daite afilu nifsel laloch maskonos Magen Avraham the tashmish arei afilu shein yodav smuch laneir also. If we say even like Magen Avraham that even in the other end of the room it's also Beis Yosef did bring the Rosh Lalocha. Again, it's a little funny. What he's saying, the Beis Yosef brought a Lalocha. When the Shulchan Aruch, he didn't bring the Rosh. So he did not think it's Lalocha. Again, it's funny. כשנצרף לזה, גם שתשמש קדושה בדרך הארץ, נלמד לפניהם דרך הארץ. אפשר לכול העלמא אין להחמיר. That maybe לכול העלמא אין להחמיר. But it's not mashma that way from the Shulchan Aruch. I mean, understand. You're bringing me the Rosh. But the Rosh, the Shulchan Aruch doesn't paskin like the Rosh. And you're telling me you want to be makel like I've been learning. Learning is the worst. The Gemara says that on Shabbos, a person is not allowed to learn Yechidi next to a candle because even if it's a good candle, he might move the candle a little bit. Because when you're learning, you have to. You're losing a lot of concentration. The Gemara says when there's a candle, it has to be two people learning together. And the Gemara says the whole story to Bishmol. He said, "Don't worry, I'm not going to forget." And he does. He wrote a pinkose to teach you how strong is the Divrei Chazal. So it's Moshe Kapoyer. He's the Mishnah Berurah wants to say that the learning could be makel because he's not going to be mat. First of all, you can't bring me the Rosh because obviously Shulchan Aruch didn't pass on like the Rosh. We hold Osir is Osir, and now you want to be makel for learning. Learning is worse than anything else. That's what the Gemara says. The story about Rabbi Shmuel that even with good oil with Chodesh Shemayata. So therefore, this is my beef with the Mishnah Berurah on this. Let's just finish reading it. Before V'da'od again, the emphasis of Mishnah Berurah is Chotzoser Minei Bei, because I'm saying without the Mishnah Berurah, everything is neich. Really, in the Shulchan Aruch paskin not like the Rosh. The Rosh said that if you're in the room, you're allowed to. But we paskin not like the Rosh. We said that it's no way, no how. Arai, Keva, this side of the room, that's everything is awesome. Therefore, it's verstandig in Hilchos Shabbos. And we said that even if you end in the room, there's a chashash hamayata. By Chanukah, why is it? Because Chanukah, it's also lishtamish. And even at the other end of the room, it's also lishtamish. Had it been mutter lishtamish at the end of the room, you would have had a problem on Chanukah. So Chanukah and Shabbos goes very well. I'll leave it to Alter Rebbe. Alter Rebbe makes it very clear that we don't pass like the Rosh. When we say Ein on Ishtus, truth is, like I said on Chanukah, when you look at the nusach of the brach of the Alanisim, it goes very well, not like the Rosh Dafke. We say Chol Shmonis Yimei Chanukah Neretz Alolu Koydeshem. Ve'ein lo nerushus lishtamish b'hem ela leroisim b'lavad. If you learn like the Alter Rebbe, which is the way it's simple pshat Shulchan Aruch, that also means also legamri. The nusach goes very well. Koydeshem ein nerushus lishtamish b'hem ela leroisim. And if you say the emphasis Taka, I mentioned that Rebbe asks in a letter, he says Taka tzorechim v'doichik, like the second opinion over here that says you're allowed to do tashma shel kedusha. So what do you mean ein lo neshus lishtamish b'hem ela roisim balavad? The tashma kedusha is mutter. So say you could say ein lo neshus lishtamish b'hem, but it's not only liroisim balavad. So the Rebbe says a little doichik, you could say whatever, look at tashma, but even according to the Rosh, it's a little bit of a tzorechiyun. What do you mean? You say you're allowed to do a little bit in the other end of the room. That's why the Alter Rebbe paskin not like the Rosh, not like the Itur. The Alter Rebbe paskin simple. Nothing. And that's why Lagabi Shabbos he said that even at the other end of the room, there's Shinashem Yata. And Lagabi Chanukah, the not Yata, even at the other end of the room, you can't do anything. Shenk in the Mishnah Berurah is a chastira. So Mishnah Berurah went to sleep when he wrote Hilchos Shabbos and Chanukah. Vergessen von einer zu der zweite. So that's my beef on this Mishnah Berurah. Now let's just finish off.
The cancel Shabbos is not Ushkle Shabbos. The cancel Shabbos made
Lishtamish.
Unverkehrt.
Right. Made
Lishtamish. The Tafka Lishtamish.
But we see that the Alter Rebbe's Mahalach is tak ein on reshus lishtamish b'hem is absolute. Koydeshem, it's kedusha. Mamish, we treat it like Neres in the Beis Hamikdash. Ein reshus lishtamish ela roisim only l'riyah. And also means mamish also, even at the other end of the room, and even a little betoida, and even arai also. Everything is also. Okay. It's interesting that you get from the Alter Rebbe and Hilchos Shabbos Adin and Hilchos Chanukah. Okay, because we don't have from the Alter Rebbe Hilchos Chanukah.
It's really hard to understand it because it's the same candle, and here you're allowed to, and you're not like.
Oh, because like I said, Shabbos, we treat it Kodesh. We treat it like the Menedis in the Beis Hamikdash. We mamish. We treat
No,
this candle.
And Shabbos is the mitzvah is that you should
Right.
It should be
Right. Shabbos we want dafke. It should be.
and Hanukkah
Hanukkah
is
dafke not.
like
Right.
Hekdesh,
So
like
the opposite.
Meila,
Right.
you're doing Hekdesh, it's a Meila.
Right. ודאי אפילו לומד דרך קבע, אפשר די להחמיר רק כדי שיר המבור בסימן תר"ש בייס, אבל לא יתפוס את זה. אפילו אם נרצה להחמיר שם שלוש מחבר, רק לדבר ברשוס, אבל לא כדבר מצווה. After the half hour, it doesn't matter. You're allowed to learn because it's only for the half hour. After that, you can do whatever you want. As I mentioned, the Bach doesn't hold of this, but whatever, you don't have to. It can be makel. Here's a toy in the choil. Says that but if you have to realize in the days of the Mishnah Berurah, he didn't learn Torah with a candle. Didn't have electricity, so and you don't have any other candle to learn. So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to sing Hanukkah songs all night next to the menorah. So he says, blow out the menorah after a half hour, blow out the menorah, and then light it again. Now it's already for sure not Neder Shel Mitzvah, and now you can learn Gesundheit. Okay. Yeah.
We once went to lunch and there's a thing called the cafe. On the other side of the Hudson, we stayed there for the night or whatever. So in the morning, they asked us that we should light the candle. They had like a menorah over it. So we lit it and we went somewhere, came back 10 minutes, it's off. So if someone says, give somebody else a chance to learn.
Unbelievable.
I lived in Romania, but this was like for sure.
Right. Okay, let's continue next Eve. Let's continue the next Eve. Yeah. What is the next Eve? Oh, base. Yeah. Adloko is a mitzvah. The main thing is the madlik of Bnei Chanukah. Lefikach and Kopsa Kohen Shavazmana.
Yeah, we know.
Siv base. See it? On page Kuf Mem Gimel.
Oh, okay. You finish with the
Yeah. Hadloka is a mitzvah. The main mitzvah is the hadloka. Lefikach and Kopsa Kohen Shavazmana. If it blew out before the zman. Zokel doesn't have to relight it. I feel like if Shabbos can Kabbalah Shabbos, even if it's Erev Shabbos and before Kabbalah Shabbos, then it doesn't have to bother. If he lit the menorah and he blew it out b'mezid, he's mechuyev to relight it. But if it was b'shoigeg, he's not mechuyev to relight it.
we do like it.
Yeah, the minig anyway is that the minig is to relight it. You're not allowed to make a broch again. It's takar minig. If the wind blew it out,
In the full sefer,
yeah,
do like again.
Yeah. Now it's an interesting machloikis. There's an interesting machloikis here. What happens if you put it? What happens if you put it in a place where it's very windy? If it's very windy. It's very windy. Look in the Beit Hate. I'll show you what. Look at this Beit Hate over here.
I call when we said the Ikar is that look, so you did.
Right.
You might.
No. Look at the Beit Hate. He disagrees. If אין עם קופסה במזיד, כי המלך שימו מהם גימל. נס הגדל קופסה משום שלטו גבוהים, חייב לארץ על הדיקר, נמצא לארץ על הברך, יקפוץ פנטזיה, נמצא לארץ על הברך. Basically, the machlokes are poskim achronim like this. What happens if you put the menorah in a place that's going to be very windy? It's like as if you put it in. It's as if you. Yeah, it's a bracha, and now you have to make again, light it with a bracha. Second opinion says, whatever you yoytze, but it's kedai to. Yeah, the points are okay. Why is it chayav la'azalak? Look at maybe there's a suffix in their mind, but at first shita goes very well with the mincha saluzer that I was mentioning before Chanukah. That the Rebbe Geret Asicha, like I mentioned, Tov Lamed, the Rebbe was walking home on Shabbos Chanukah. and he saw in by one of the Ziknei Anash
Put it by the window, not
who
by
put
the
them
door.
later the room.
But not by the chair.
Yeah, not by the chair by the door. He put it by the window.
The Rebbe asked him what.
And the Rebbe was not impressed. The next day by the Fabrengen, the Rebbe said,
What's someone over tennis?
yeah, it was not. It was. I'm sorry. It was near. We spoke. It was near Hey Chanukah. The Rebbe spoke about it. It's. I was listening. My friend sent me this. I was listening to the audio of it last night. Levi Willem sent it to me. So. So the Rebbe was not impressed. The Rebbe zoked the in front of Kahana. No, it wasn't Shabbos. It was the fifth night of Hanukkah. Shab in the order in the
happened in Shabbos.
Yeah, in the Shabbos, the Rebbe spoke about it. Yeah. That's what in the Tahoros Menachem in the footnote he says that the Rebbe was walking home Friday night and he saw this, and then he spoke about it in the fifth licht. Yeah.
Oh.
So the Rebbe said that the boss. It's funny because that year the Rebbe kocht him in Hogeg Chabad a lot. That was the sleeping in the sukkah. The Rebbe spoke about sleeping in the sukkah.
Came out.
I don't know. I don't think so. It was much after, but still, that famous sikha that Rebbe was magia about why we don't sleep in the sukkah. That was the yeah. No, he spoke sukkahs. The Rebbe spoke about it. I'm saying in the same year, and both times the Rebbe said the same thing. That the Gemara says that the Talmud of Kahana was mahadeh to take hadassim that everyone says is possible. Because the Kahana said that chad utla, the trei utla, trei v'chad is mutter. The other said all three have to go out from one place.
He was taking dafka 2 in 1.
He was saying dafka 2 in 1 because the Kahana said hurl nothing puma the Kahana. So the Rebbe said that Senu and if the Frierdiker Rebbe, then for sure the Rebbe up to the Alter Rebbe, they did it in the Bayis. It must be that's and even the Baal Shem Tov and the Alter Rebbe and the Magids, we don't know for sure they didn't do it al Pesach Beis and Bachutz, because if they would have done Pesach Beis and Bachutz, we would have heard about it. But the Rebbe explains what's the chisaron of doing it by a window. The Rebbe never explains what's wrong doing it Pesach Beis and Bachutz. That's what the Gemara says, do a Pesach Beis and Bachutz. But the Rebbe says that the Sforim already talk about it. And in the Tahoros Menachem, the new set, or the Machai, every year, I go and I buy the what I'm missing, I just bought volume Ayin Tes, Payala, whatever. It's unbelievable. They're holding already Payala. To get a little more steel to hold up the room and to get a few more bookcases. So he says, look at Minchas Eluzar, whatever, I looked it up. The Minchas Eluzar says that in Bovel, where they made a takona for Ner Chanukah, in Eretz Yisrael, Bovel, wherever they lived, he didn't live in the Middle East. They said they lived, right? So if you go out and you put your candle on Pesach Beis Havachutz, it's no, faked. It's not a problem. What's going to happen? Aruch Sheina Mitzuya is going to blow it out, but otherwise it's not a problem. But in Eastern Europe, if you're going to put the candle up Pesach Beis, never mind, it's dangerous. That's a separate thing. It's a sakon, b'shas sakona. Even b'shas she'ein sakon in Lubavitch.
It's winter. It's raining.
And windy. So it's as you machatchilan to the mitzvah, because in Eretz Yisrael maybe the wind is going to come, maybe not. If it's going to be a regular ruach mitzuya, the menorah could last for a half hour. But in Eastern Europe and America, it's windy. So the first minute you lit the menorah al Pesach Beis Chutz, you're not yoitz. And to say that HaRambam should be machayev you to melt, to make it with a glass is a pella. And then he has a funny sheet that he holds that you're not yoitza through a glass, because there has to be roy in the Chanukah without a glass. So that's weird. I can't. And if I do Kiddush Levon and I look through my glasses because and I not Yotze, I can't really read. Well, anyway, okay, so that's a little bit of a funny. The Minchas Eluzar. So that's a little bit of a funny thing. You go like this? Okay. No, he says, look, I have a kitchen. Yeah. So the
says, yeah, I'm looking through my window.
Right. Yeah, Itaka says, also look, I have a Kiddush Levon.
Make sure I see what I looked at. I see it.
So, it's not just a Mashur, no, yeah, no, it's also with the holy man, yeah. Okay. And that one more halacha, let's finish off. I mean, it's unbelievable to see that every minhag Yisrael is like, it's like
the moon is so big, no matter what you look in glasses, you're going to see it.
Okay, we'll finish off fast. Ner shel cheres, shidlik over alachas, nasam yoshon, emad chalal acheres, lokech chadoshim chalayla, mein lo yoshim, sikam chalal ba'oid. Because a kli cheres becomes achi after most. Ner shel mateches, ein tzarech chodesh, sheschuch shecheres, mechus adin kemateches, that's kosher. Ein chodesh lo psilas lachlifa, mach tichla, that you don't...
You don't must change this every night. You could use
you could use it one way or the other.
Right.
Because there's a you say there's a mile taking new ones. Or there's a mile using the old ones. You can do whatever you want, whichever is better, whichever works better for you.
In basic middle, they change every time.
Yeah, it's a mixture change. Okay, very good. Dicke soll sein lichtig. Soll Mahader sein, wie der Rebbe gewollt, also ich habe mir Kahane, der Mahader, yeah, 2 in 1.
Should we do now after my
As earlier, let's see if we can do it now. Is everyone going to wait?
Do you want to wait a minute?
Yeah, let's do it now, for sure.
Okay.
So that Choshev is Siyum HaRambam, Sefer Tahoros, Mikvos. Yeah, keep it, because I think we can still, we just did some, we still have in here, they shine dollars. Yeah, we have a little bit in it still. Yeah.
I got it here. Oh, okay, fine. Din Siyum and the 10 books of the Rambam.
10 books.
I can do 10 books. I know.
Yeah.
It's clear and known. שהטומאה זה תאר גזירס הכל סובן. The whole concept of טומאה and תארה, it's because the Torah says so. ואינם מדברים שדתו של אדם מוכרעת אותן. It's not because a person has knowledge, so he decided what is good or what's not. I remember speaking to soldiers and I'm talking about Tilas Yadayim, so the guy says, I use soap, good soap. My hand is more clean than yours. I say, you're right. But the concept is to use a quote to do this. It's exercise a concept. והרי מכלל החוקים. וכן הטבילה מן הטומאה בכלל החוקים. If somebody became tome, the concept of the tome is מוצרה, and to be pure is also, the טבילה is also חוק. וכן הטבילה מן הטומאות מכלל החוקים. שאין הטומאתית או צואה שתראו במים, אלא גזרת הכותוב. Because the posuk says so. והדובר תלוי בכוונה סלב. When you are טובל, you have to have a כוונה in the heart. לפי כך אמרו חמים. טבל ולא אורזה כאילו לא טבל. אף על פי כן, רמז יש בדבר. Not only that is a גזר, is a רמז. שם שמכוון ליבו לטהר. כלומר שטבל טהר, once a person went to the mikveh, but his mind was to be pure, אף על פי שלא נתחדש בגופו דבר, it's the same person that before he went to the mikveh and the person after, nothing happened. ככה מכוון ליבו לטהר נפשו מטומאת הנפשות. If somebody decided to pure himself from the tumas and nefashot, she'en machshavot, aon vedot arot, he clear is pure. That's a very, very hard job to do. But the only thing that a person has that nobody could do is machshavos. Nobody knows what I'm thinking. And to pure the machshavos is a very holy thing. כיוון שהסכים בליבו לפרוס מאותן העצות, once a person said to himself, I'm not going to think a bad thing, והבין נפשו במי הדעות, טהור, became pure. הרי הוא אומר, וזרקת לכם מים טהורים וטהרתם. The Evasher will throw water on us and will become pure. I think he's talking about the four Adoma. וכל תומתם וכל גולכם את הארצכם. This is בריך רחמן לסיין לגמר ספר הסירי. הוא סתר בשם כל עולם, את ליבי על ידתך ואל בצע. ספר 11 וספר נזיקים. כל נפש חיה שהיא ברשותו של האדם, שהזיק הבעלים חייבים לשלם. If you have an animal in your position, and this animal was mazik, you have to pay. שהרי במונו הזיק, because it's your money that make a damage. שנאמר, כי יגוף שור איש את שור רעהו. אחד השור ואחד שור בהמה חיה ועוף. ודבר כתוב בשור אלא בעובד. The reason the Torah says sure, because that's what people